All right, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. You've heard me talk about this protocol a lot lately, that it was coming and it was coming, but not a lot of details around it. Besides the fact that it's kind of an offshoot of Carol, these guys have actually gone in and taken the basis of the Carol protocol and made it a lot better in my opinion, made some different tweaks. This is now finally launching in about 24 hours from now by the time I get this video up. So 3 p.m. Eastern time on Friday. Pretty exciting protocol. So what I figured I'd do in this video is just give you some of the basic details of the protocol, how to get in, just a few things like that, the things that they changed. And that way you've got that information today, and then if you want to jump in right at launch at 3 p.m. tomorrow, that'd be cool. What I will be doing is I'll be doing a video right at launch tomorrow of me actually getting in and going through the process. So if you just want to watch that one, you can. If you want to watch this one so you can get in right when I get in, that's cool too. But this, I think, is going to be one of the better protocols that you've seen out there. Of course, none of this is financial advice. Do your own research. I just feel like the stars aligned on this one. When Carol Protocol originally came out, it took off. It was super, super successful. So successful that other protocols were, launching forks of it, I feel like, left and right, and even over on the BSC side. So those guys at Carol decided to do a version on the BSC side. They did that version and it got 1.4 million or something like that within a matter of just a couple days. So super, super successful. The issue started when they started making changes. Obviously on the Carol side, they started making some changes. They allowed the token to be traded on the DEX. That caused a flash loan. They limited their buybacks. All sorts of things started to go wrong, and that was only on the base chain side. Now what that caused is issues over on the Binance Smart Chain side. There wasn't anything wrong with it, but you immediately saw people panic withdrawing, and that TVL dropped from well over 1 million all the way down to like 300, 400,000 within a matter of a couple of days, because people were really concerned that the same thing was going to happen over there. Of course, it wasn't possible for it to happen on that side, but people had the fear that since everything went wrong on the base chain side, that was going to happen over there. So in my opinion, Carol Protocol was set up to be a really big winner for the year, and they just made a few too many changes. It went south, and we know how it goes. Now that said, here's why I think this one is going to be a big winner. First off, we know the team. Math doing all the contracts. Nomad does all the design work and UI work and white paper and all that type of stuff. You've got Moonshot Max, who is obviously a familiar name in the space. He's a content creator, handling all the marketing and everything for this one. And they've got a few other people that are in the background. So trusted team. They've done several other projects. So in my eyes, I feel totally solid about the team, which feels good. And then the second piece is they had the benefit of hindsight here. They can look at what Carol did, the mistakes they made, and they can go make some changes. And they've made several. And I think this one is going to be a killer because of it. So be prepared for a ton of these videos to start coming out. I just know a lot of people are going to get involved in this one because they know the core team. So I wouldn't be surprised if you see 25 familiar faces out there pushing this content, and when that happens, TVLs go crazy. So I won't be surprised at all if we get over $1 million within the first couple days. When these guys first started the project, they came to a few people and asked if they wanted to participate in more of a seed round. This is prior to us really getting any details of exactly what the project's going to be, what we're going to be changed. And of course, since people knew the team already and felt confident, they felt okay parting with some money, knowing that the protocol that came out the other side was going to be good. I was one of those people, so I did already put some money into the seed round. They raised a total of $51,000. That money's just to help get this up off the ground. But it goes to show you that the confidence of some of the investors before we even knew really what they were creating was high enough that we thought this was going to be a winner. So again, not financial advice. I am going heavy into this one. I've already purchased in, like I said, to the private round. And I have another chunk of money set aside because you're going to do that thing like you did with Carol, where you got to create your bond, which gives you an extra percentage, and then you want to stake it to get that additional yield every day. Now, another important thing that I forgot to mention is this contract is going to be renounced at launch. So there's not going to be a possibility of there being a rug here. Once the protocol launches, contract is renounced, and then for better or worse, that's just how the contract's going to be. They feel like they've got it simple enough that they're not really going to need to make any changes, that it will be fine. But what they are doing is this is just the first part of the ecosystem. And what that means is they're already planning a layer 2. They've got some partnerships that are online that could be pretty big that they can't talk about yet. So I think this could turn into something pretty interesting, and I like the direction it's going. Let me just get into the real basics. I don't want this video to be super long. I just want you to feel comfortable in the protocol if it's something that you want to get into. So I do want you to understand what's going to have to happen if you decide you want to get in. Pretty easy website to navigate. As you can see, we're on the bond page. The bonds are going to be created in DAI WPLS, which is wrapped pulse. So DAI is just a stable coin on the Pulse chain, and wrapped pulse is just wrapped pulse. So all you have to really have to be able to jump into this protocol is you got to have this loaded into your Rabby or MetaMask or whatever wallet you're using. You got to have the information, the RPC URL, all that type of stuff loaded in so you can operate on the Pulse chain. And then you have to have some assets on the Pulse chain. This little zapper zaps the LPs, will take whatever assets you have and create the LPs for you. So if you don't want to go do it yourself, I know some of you guys are pros, you'll go to PancakeSwap and do it over on the BSC side. There's also a way to do it on Pulse. I don't want to take the time to do that. So what I'm going to do is I've got my assets, like I said, I'll connect my wallet. I will pick the amount I want to zap. I'll put them together. It'll create that DAI WPLS for me, and then it'll stake that bond or lock up that bond. Now, as you can see here, you get a little bonus for that, right? 40 days, it's gonna give you 40%. And I think the screen's actually wrong because the white paper says something different. I think it's 40, 30, 20. So 30 would obviously give you 30, 20 would give you 20. Me personally, like I said, I believe in the protocol. I'm going 40. I want the maximum gain I can get here, but you can choose whatever you want. Now, in order, this part's important if you want to lock somebody in as a referral, whether it's me or anybody else. In order to get a referral and not just have the dev wallet be your referral, you need to go through these steps. You'll get here, you'll connect your wallet, all that. You're going to approve the contract. And once it's approved, then you have to paste the referral address in here and then click get tokens. If you don't do it in that order, it will just automatically default to the dev wallet, which is fine. But if you want to give whatever content creator you learned from or your buddy or whatever, you want to have two wallets and use one as a referral, whatever you need to do, you have to do it in that order. So again, approve the contract, you process the approval through your MetaMask or Rabby or whatever. Then you'll need to paste their the referral address, which is just a wallet address, as you guys know, and then click get tokens. And when you process that, that's when it actually locks in your referral. So just be aware of that. I know there's going to be a lot of people are going to be talking to their buddies, hey, did you get my referral? I didn't get it for whatever reason, because people are going to do it wrong. If you put in the referral address first before you approve it, you think it saves it. It does not. So the only order you're able to do it in is to, of course, get this, approve it, then post the referral address, then click get tokens, and then it locks in. So enough about that. But if you're intending to put a referral address in, that's really the only way to do it. Once you've done that process, it's going to give you your bonds. They'll be down here. Obviously, I don't have any yet. And then you can come over to stake. This should be kind of familiar to Carol, so you should be familiarized with this a little bit. But the process is very simple. You'll need enough money to cover the bond, whatever you have it in there. So if you've got $1,000 in there and you've chosen the 40 days, so it's giving you the 40%, you'd need roughly $1,400 to be able to cover that bond and put it into a stake. As you've seen with Carol, that original percentage, the base rate was 2%, and then the liquidity bonus obviously goes up. So as much liquidity comes into the contract, the TVL that's in the contract, that's going to grow, and so that'll give you an additional percentage. If you hold and don't claim all the time, that will have that continue to go up, and then your personal bonuses if you've put in a certain amount. Let's see what it is. 153,129 DAI WPLS will give you a 0.05%. So the more you add, the higher percentage you get. A couple of things that have changed about this one that are really beneficial. One, max staking income is up to 175%, so more lucrative for investors. Two, one thing that Carol missed on was allowing the funds to be rehypothecated, collateral rehypothecation. Basically, the money that's sitting in the TVL could be earning more dollars. So if you allow those funds to sit on the Pulse farms, they can actually be generating income, and then that income can be paid back to investors, which just helps the project last longer, which is obviously what we all want. So really another nice boost I think that they've done to make this even more bullish. They've also lowered the referral program. So I know some of you guys try to build big teams. You can obviously do that. A lot of folks felt that the referral program in Carol was too hefty. So on this side, they cut it down considerably, like more than 50%. So if you're building a team, you'll still get some juice, just not as much. And what that's probably a good thing, because more of those dollars go back into the contract. Sometimes you have to have pretty good referrals because it's a marketing tactic. You're either going to pay people to market, or you can offer pretty decent referrals, and that way it makes people want to build teams. But I think in this case, this one is going to be a banger enough that, in my eyes, I think that a lot of people aren't going to be as concerned about the referral rewards and just trying to get their bonds and stakes in right out the gate. Who knows, but that's just my guess. So I think you guys probably understand how the protocol works. It's not too super complicated. The only difference really that makes it just a little more complicated is we're over on the Pulse chain and we're using a DAI Pulse LP. So instead of like with Carol on the base chain side where you were earning Carol and then you would sell that for Ethereum on base chain, here you're actually putting in those LP tokens and you're receiving LP tokens back. Then you got the ability to split it up. Like I said, DAI is a stable coin on Pulse chain. So if you want to just keep those and stake the Pulse or something like that, you could do that. You also have the ability to just keep farming it on the platform. So obviously, since we're just barely at launch, I don't have a strategy designed yet. But of course, I'm going to want to figure out a way to get my ROI, but keep building it. And if the protocol is looking strong still, I want to keep farming those LPs. And the value of those LPs is obviously determined by the value of the assets. So it's not really determined by the value of Warren. So DAI, of course, is going to be pegged to the dollar, and then the Pulse token is going to fluctuate. It may fly, it may go down. We all know that it's a little bit volatile right now, but that's even one more perk, is that it's actually an LP that has value in itself. So the audit, we won't spend a ton of time on this, but they got their audit done through Oxguard, trusted name in the space. They passed everything. I won't waste a bunch of time on this. I'll just take you to the part that people are going to ask questions about, which is right here. So passed every single thing except for this, not passed code with no effects. And the reason is this code that wasn't passed isn't actually part of the Warren contract. I believe it's part of the Pulse contract, but since they go together, there was no way for them to actually change this and get it passed. But it's a very low vulnerability and it should have absolutely no effect on the protocol. So you can read through this if you want. Obviously everything passed, but feel free to dig in as much as you'd like. All right, so that's the once over. This is Warren. Like I said, tomorrow around this time, I'm actually going to be doing another video of me actually getting in. So more information tomorrow. If you want to wait to watch that one, you can. If you want to get in right at launch, like I said, 3 p.m. Eastern tomorrow, which is Friday. I will add the links in the description down below. Also, don't forget to jump into the Telegram. There's a good group in there. There's already like 500 people, I think, in the Telegram. Make sure to jump in, do your own research, feel comfortable in it. If you feel comfortable in it, you can put your money in. If you don't and you just want to watch from the sidelines, that's completely fine as well. This is just one of those ones that I think is going to fly. And since I trust the team and I already know this model works because it worked really well over on the Carol side, I'm going to go hard in this one just straight out the gate. But look for my video tomorrow. Again, don't forget about that referral process if that's what you want to do, because otherwise it's going to be confusing. If you want to get ready and then wait to watch my video, just make sure that you've got like DAI or Pulse or something like that in your wallet, because you're going to be able to use the Zapper to create those LPs. Just try to make life easy on yourself. If you don't understand, if you're not on Pulse chain, you're going to want to go to chainlist.org and then just type in PLS. It should pop up and you'll be able to add it to your wallet in one click. But this one should be good, and I think it's going to pay out for quite a while, and it kind of pumps me up to have something that I feel this confident about. So anyway, thank you guys. We'll see you back here in 24 hours. Happy investing.